Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of the Red Raiders Spotlight. Today's focus will be on Tim Wager, a senior off the men's basketball team and also the men's track and field team. Tim, thank you for joining us. How are things going with you right now?
About as good as they can, I guess. Trying to stay busy.
What kind of things are making you busy? How do you keep busy?
I guess so. Right now, I'm working at a grocery store. They kind of have me on somewhat limited hours, but hopefully by the end of next week, I'll get up to a full-time job there. But other than that, I kind of been doing whatever I can. I guess golfing or frisbee golfing, or trying to stay active. I guess that's kind of it.
What kind of limitations are there for you in South Dakota because of this?
Yeah. So like right now, like most places, like church has kind of been hard to get to, I guess, right now. But my church has been doing some services at night, like drive-in services on Sunday nights, and so that's kind of been cool. But other than that, like things that have been, I guess, taken away, like it's hard to go to friends' houses and stuff like that. It's hard to meet up with a bunch of random people and like hang out and stuff like that. So it's kind of mostly been go to work, come back home, go to work, come back home. I guess go outside and go golfing, but that's kind of isolated too. So everyone's kind of isolated right now.
You'll have an interesting story to tell because when this went down, you were just wrapping up your men's basketball season up at the Pentagon. Talk us through those days when Northwestern went online, maybe your final days with the basketball team up at the Pentagon, the craziness of that. Take us through that.
Yeah, so we had kind of heard some rumors when we were already up in Sioux Falls about um, about this coronavirus and what might happen, like when we go back to school and stuff like that. So we had kind of all talked together a little bit just about what that might look like, and then we had heard that the tournament or the national tournament wasn't going to allow anyone but like whatever it was, just family members or just like 100 people per team or something like that. The following day after we had played that, so that Thursday, and we were able to play our game and had our fans there on Wednesday, which was awesome. But then on Thursday, when on our way back, we found out that they had completely canceled the rest of the tournament, and so that was kind of shocking, I think, to all of us. We thought they were still going to play their games, and everyone was already there, all the teams and all that. So uh, definitely was shocking to hear all that. But then um, as we went back to school, I think we found out that the very next day, that Friday, I believe, that we were going to go on to the online format of things. And so I guess in turn that meant no more track. I guess for me, I'm kind of glad of the timing there, just because of, getting into track and then I don't know, then finding out that I wasn't going to be able to compete would be kind of even more sad. I think in a way it kind of had some closure, especially like the basketball season too. We were able to play our last game, and so that was kind of some closure too. Um, so I think the timing of it was about as good as it could have been for us, or at least for me as I think about it. But it was all shocking. Everything was brand. I don't think I ever would have thought that would be where we are right now. It's kind of crazy. So.
Were you able to get any closure with your track and field coaches and teammates or your close friends? How long did you stay on campus after this all went down?
Right. Yeah. So I guess as far as like coaches and stuff go, I was able to talk with some of them that next week, like Coach Barkey and Coach VP and Coach Corver and all my coaches there, and just talk to them about, future plans and kind of say goodbye, and all that kind of stuff. So that was a good opportunity, and at least we were able to say and get some closure there. But as far as friends and stuff go, we were able to stay, or most of my friends were able to stay till Wednesday, and then they all had to leave. But I was in married housing with my wife, Curry, and so we were able to stay a little longer. And but at that point, since everyone had kind of left campus, it was kind of dead. It was like, well, we might as well go home, I guess, you know, and save some of that money. So we went home too, and then, but I mean, we've stayed in contact with a bunch of our friends from college, even just like on Zoom calls or texting, you know, all that kind of stuff. So it's been good to. I mean, no one's really that busy where we can't find a time to get on Zoom calls and talk. So it really hasn't been that much of a goodbye, I would say, for friends. So that's been good.
Think back to your collegiate career, both in basketball and track. What are some of the memorable moments for you in either of those sports? And what did you learn about yourself? And what can you take with you as you pursue your career?
Hmm Yeah, so I guess coming in freshman year for basketball, as we started out, it was kind of, I mean, just to be honest with you, I'm not the tallest guy on the basketball team. And so I remember I walked into basketball camp the first day, and the first two, or I was one of the first three guys there, and we were all freshmen. We had a freshman meeting, and two of the other guys were both 6'8". I think it was Jackson Johnson and like Grant Rohr, so maybe 6'6". And I asked them, like, is there a different meeting for the point guards or for the short guys or something like that? Because I didn't feel like I fit or belonged. But no, I think some of those experiences in the first 2 years when I played JV were awesome, especially that second year. I think we went 18-2 or something like that, or 16-2 or something like that, and we beat a lot of teams by over 50, and that was just a fun group of guys, fun time to go out and especially beat Dort a couple times. So things like that, like hanging out with the guys and playing some basketball, like those are some of my favorite things. So uh, definitely will take some of those memories and they will last forever. As far as like track and stuff goes, uh, some of my best memories there, just working with Coach VP, the jump coach, as I only did jumps. Just kind of teasing him and kind of going back and forth with him, and finally persuading him to compete at the Red Raider Open my sophomore year. That was awesome. I was excited because he had been talked to by a bunch of the former athletes to try to go and compete, but he never would. And then finally, my sophomore year he did, and so that was really fun to see him and finally try to jump again. So hopefully he does that again in the next coming years. But yeah, so those are just some of my favorite memories from track and basketball.
What's some advice that you would give your returning teammates, and also some advice for an incoming freshman, whether it be an athlete or a student?
Hmm I guess obviously, like some of these friendships and stuff, they'll last forever, and the bond that you have with them is, I mean, incomparable. So I guess that, and like just don't take your time for granted. It feels like just yesterday, like I was a freshman going in, didn't really know anybody, and now all of a sudden my senior year is over. Like that's just, it's crazy like that, crazy fast. And so I guess uh, you know don't take that time with your friends and your teammates or your classmates or anything like that for granted. Like some of those times you'll like all of a sudden blink and it's already sophomore year, and then it's already junior year, and then it's all over. So I think as long as you like don't take it for granted, I think you'll hopefully be in good shape. So
What tips do you have being a multi-sport athlete, but also a pretty challenging major? How did you keep that all straight?
yeah, so I guess a lot of it is time management, obviously, and you want to spend time with friends too. Like that's a huge part of college. And so you kind of have to find times when some downtime that you can study, or when some that you can work out extra, things like that. So it's hard to it's definitely hard, but time management and finding time or like finding friends that also are the same majors is really key for me. Like I had a couple friends that were also exercise science majors, and so like we had this huge project due. We would all work on it together, and it was hanging out with friends and doing homework. So kind of multitasking in that, and then like even doing homework on basketball trips or track trip, like while traveling. Like some of that stuff is like was definitely needed and had to happen, but you try to avoid that as well, to just to spend time with some teammates. But I mean, it's a lot. It's really hard, but it's definitely manageable if you put the time in, like at the right time, I guess. Don't procrastinate and leave it all for one night, because then you're really gonna mess up your schedule there. So.
Did you come in as an exercise science major? And if you did, when did you decide that? Or have you switched it up during your time at Northwestern?
So I did come in as an exercise science major. I guess I've kind of always been on this like chiropractic train, I guess, or whatever you want to call it. I've always kind of wanted to be a chiropractor, and so it's kind of easy for me to decide between exercise science and like an alternative route like biology or something like that, or some go with athletic training. Because I just think like the exercise science, just getting like that hands-on approach was obviously one of the best ways for me to learn, and for me to like take that on to the next, on to grad school. So I've always been a grad or a exercise science major, and I chose that probably back in junior or sophomore year of high school. So I know that's kind of rare. I know a lot of people switch it up, and that's no problem. But yeah, so I guess I kind of always knew. So.
Do you have a favorite class or a favorite professor?
Oh man, uh, I really liked a couple of my exercise science classes, like one with Coach Swear, exercise testing and prescription. That one was really hands-on and really relevant. It seemed like. So obviously, like things like that, and then like I really like Dr. Callsbeak and Dr. Bartlett, and those classes that I took with them, like motor learning and physiology, or things like that. So I think it's hard to pick just one, but definitely had really good professors. Like it's hard to pick because they're so good. So.
What's your story? How did you come to Northwestern?
So I started coming to basketball camp, I think going into my sophomore year of high school. So that's kind of how I first heard about it. And then Nathan Wadle went to my high school, and he obviously went to Northwestern. And so then I kind of got interested more, and he was playing basketball and track. And so those are kind of the things that I was looking at doing too. So I just kind of, one time when I was here for basketball camp, I like just kind of dawned on me that I should probably apply here, or really look into maybe this should be the place I come. And I went and visited a couple other places, but none of them really checked off all those boxes like Northwestern did for me. So had a beautiful campus, and yeah, I had everything I guess I really wanted. So.
Cool. What's next for you? Your next step, your next part of your journey?
Yeah, so Kareem and I will be moving to Bloomington or Minneapolis in like July or August or September, somewhere in there. I will be attending Northwestern Health Sciences University. It's a chiropractic college. So yeah, I'll be attending that starting in September, hopefully.
Good. What's she gonna do?
Yeah, so she's a massage therapist, and she will hopefully be able to find a massage therapy job. Right now it's kind of iffy. So, I mean, hopefully she'll find something that will allow us to live there. And it's kind of hard to find a job right now, but hopefully there will be some options for us. So.
Good. We're gonna wrap this up with a go-to section, just some rapid fire questions, and you just rattle off answers as fast as you can. You ready?
All right, I'm ready. Yep.
Go-to food.
Spaghetti.
Go-to restaurant.
Mexican restaurant, so like La Hacienda, or that's the one in my town. So Los Tulipanes.
Gotcha. Go-to music, song, or musical group.
Oh man, I guess that one kind of changes a lot. It kind of depends on the time of year, but I'll just go with Lecrae. He's a Christian rapper.
Gotcha. Go-to movie.
Remember the Titans.
Go-to TV show or Netflix series.
Friends.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Go-to vacation spot.
I gotta pick New Zealand. It's where my mom is from, and so we've gone a couple times, and
Wow.
it's gorgeous there, beautiful.
Go-to activity.
Basketball.
Go-to sport to watch.
Sport to watch, probably football.
College or pro.
Pro.
Do you have a favorite sports team other than Northwestern?
The Vikings, Minnesota Vikings.
Bucket list sporting event that you would
Uh,
want to attend in person.
I think a Super Bowl would be pretty awesome to go to. Super Bowl, yeah.
Gotcha. 3-point contest out of 10. You or Coach Corver, who wins?
Oh man, I probably gotta go with Coach Corver.
You versus
Depends on the day.
you versus Coach Corver 1-on-1 to 10. Who wins?
Oh, that's got to be me.
You versus Coach Miller, 3-point contest. Who wins?
Oh, I'll take that one. Yeah.
Perfect. How about you versus Coach Vanderplug head to head, long jump? Who jumps further?
Right now me, but in his prime, probably him.
How about who's the better athlete in the family, you or your wife?
Uh, Probably depend. I'll just go with me.
Oh, good. Thank you for joining me, Tim. That's all I got. Best of luck up at the Twin Cities with your chiropractic school.
Thank you.
You bet.